While numerous individuals harbor the intent of their prayer, a considerable proportion fail to infuse their prayer with the necessary corresponding emotions. I wish to underline the importance of this point. The heightened feelings of joy, gratitude, love, inspiration, wholeness, etc. you experience when visualizing the actualization of your prayer are vital to its materialization. Essentially, traditional prayer often takes the form of a request, which presents a significant problem. If you implore, you're in a state of deficiency because you're desiring, and desire implies that you're lacking. However, if you rise with the conviction that your prayer has already been answered, you effectively eliminate that feeling of want because you are experiencing the emotions tied to your future in the present. By continually immersing yourself in these elevated emotions, you begin to distance yourself from your routine, everyday persona. In other words, maintaining these heightened emotions compared to your daily mundane self allows you to dwell in a state of unfamiliarity, the unknown. If you manage to sustain these elevated emotions independently of your habits and any emotional addictions, it's as if your prayer has already been granted. This calls for you to keep these heart-centered emotions alive irrespective of the conditions surrounding your life. Conditions that are formed by specific people, circumstances, and objects at specific times and places. It also means that you need to remain in this newfound state of being without preconceiving your future, which is unconsciously rooted in the memories of your past. When we can self-regulate these emotions, we stop trying to predict when or where our prayers will be answered because we already feel like they have been. It could be said then that you need to experience the emotions before the event actually happens. By doing this, you relinquish control over the timing, location, and manner in which your prayers will be answered. Since you've stopped trying to force or predict outcomes, you have transitioned into a state of trust. So how do you strike a healthy equilibrium between prayer, intention, surrender, and trust? Picture your intention as a beacon or transmission emitted, and the associated heightened emotion as the magnetic force that attracts the event to you. Consequently, you must at some stage relinquish control over how the outcome will manifest. If you can predict it, then it's within your known reality. However, if you can't predict it, then you have ventured into the unknown. Your intention could be likened to casting a stone into a pond. The ensuing ripple or wave represents the signal. The catch is, we can never estimate the size of that pond. That's the unknown. So occasionally, it takes longer than usual for that signal to reach the shore and rebound to us. Nonetheless, since we understand that the wave represents the universal principle for energy transfer, we are confident that the signal will eventually find its way back to you, provided you remain in harmonic resonance with the energy of the emotion that formed your prayer. The second facet of surrender involves a transcendental moment of letting go and stepping aside. Many people only surrender at this level when they have exhausted all other options. That's the known. But the moment they do, that's the instant they venture into the unknown. To step aside is to transcend oneself, and this act demands trust. To trust at this level is to acknowledge, I have given everything I have, and I'm just going to let go. This act of letting go creates room for something superior to transpire. Many people, despite their constant prayers, often retain the underlying belief that they are the prime mover and shaker responsible for the realization of their prayers. This usually pushes people to the edge of their emotional faith, and it's at this precipice, if they persist, cross this threshold, and relinquish control, that the miraculous answer to their prayer manifests. Of course, sometimes action is necessary, but the crucial insight is that when we finally let go and surrender, we make room for a higher power to intervene. This is the real art, and that's when the magic happens. Once we manage to truly surrender, we open the gateway for superior outcomes, disguised as synchronicities, opportunities, or coincidences, to manifest in our lives. Often, these events or answers to our prayers surpass our initial expectations, or something that our limited human minds could never have conceived. When you stop trying to figure it out and stop trying to answer your prayers yourself, then you are not concerned about when the answer to your prayer will materialize, because you have unwavering faith that it eventually will. This, I believe, is a highly beneficial state to be in during the creative process, because this is the ultimate act of surrender. To surrender means to let go to such an extent that you're no longer anticipating the answer to your prayer. Once you release it, you relinquish control. I hope you enjoyed today's video. See you in the next video.